There's a reason it's called primetime TV, or at least that was what it was called back in the day before streaming took over the way we watch TV. In this week's video, I'll be counting down my picks for the top 10 hunks from primetime TV shows from the 70s, 80s and 90s. If there's anyone that you would like to see on this list, let me know in the comments, and I'll include them in a second video. Before we continue, I just wanted to get this off my chest. Somebody actually said in the comments that I sound like a robot, and they thought that I was an AI voice. I'm not sure how to take that really. Anyway, let's get into the video.
It's time for another top 10 list of Hollywood's hottest vintage hunks. I wonder who's at the #1 spot. Let the countdown begin.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Though he starred in various TV shows before hitting it big in 1989, Scott Bakula is best remembered for his role as Sam Beckett in the hit TV series Quantum Leap.
If you could travel back in time, when would you go back to?
Initially cast as Al, Bakula found a connection with Dean Stockwell's interpretation of Al and lobbied producers to cast Stockwell in the show, which they did and gave Bakula the lead.
I'll put the coffee on, Tom.
Oh boy.
If you were born after the 90s or you've been in a coma since back in the 80s, Quantum Leap tells of a scientist who finds him trapped in the past, leaping into the lives of different people, sorting out their problems and changing history in hopes of getting back to his own life in the present. The show performed slow at first when it came to ratings, but quickly grew in popularity, especially amongst viewers between the ages of 18 and 29, earning itself a cult following even in the years that followed, and in 2004, Quantum Leap was ranked as number 15 on TV Guide's top cult shows ever.
Can you hear me? Who are you?
Before Bruce Willis was a massive 90s action hero, blowing up airplanes and foiling terrorist plots,
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
he was David Addison in Moonlighting, a comedy drama about private detectives which aired for 5 seasons between 1985 and 1989.
Not to worry. Had it annulled in the morning. Bell captains can do that, can't they?
Moonlighting was a massive ratings hit with TV audiences as well as critics, and even earned 16 Emmy nominations for its second season. By the 4th season, Willis landed a lead role in an upcoming action movie called Die Hard, resulting in him being absent from the majority of the season. The movie was a success and beckoned Willis to continue his career on the big screen, and he started to show less interest in returning to the small screen. Co-star Sybil Shepherd just gave birth to twins and was equally reluctant to return to the series, and then the 1988 Writers Guild of America strike was the final nail in the coffin of this once promising series.
Would you get out of my way, please?
What about Mr. Kleenex?
Mr. Who?
Sure, Mr. Kleenex. You think he waited around for somebody to say, hey man, got a tissue?
It seems audiences from the 80s loved private investigation shows, as it seemed the decade had an abundance of these shows, most of them equally good, so fans had a plethora of shows to pick from, for a while.
Oh yes, Maddie Hayes. Hell of a woman.
The plot was simple and yet effective, but would be deemed sexist according to today's standards. Laura Holt opens up a private investigation agency, but soon realizes people don't want to hire a female investigator, so she makes up a male partner to pull in some business. Pierce Brosnan's character assumes the identity of the fictional Remington Steele, and the two investigate crimes together and fight their feelings for each other. You'd be forgiven for thinking this is a James Bond plot.
Excuse me, sir. Could you tell me where I could please find Mr. Remington Steele?
I'm Steele.
The show was very popular when it aired in 1982, but despite having an on-screen chemistry between the two leads, they didn't get along at all and hardly interacted between takes. The character of Remington Steele was supposed to be a supporting character and somewhat of a comedic relief to be used in support of Stephanie Zimbalist. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Brosnan's character became so popular that his part became more significant.
Sorry, Mr. Steele, but I'm afraid your account has been closed.
Closed?
Yes, sir.
Coming in at number 7 on this list are the chaps from Chips, Larry Wilcox and Erik Estrada. I couldn't just pick one, so I decided to feature both. You can decide who stays on the list and who gets bumped off. Let me know in the comments.
That guy was possessed. What happened?
I don't know. One minute I was this close to knocking that yo-yo out of his socks, then poof, he vanishes.
This very popular primetime show followed the lives of two motorcycle officers of California Highway Patrol and aired for 139 episodes over 6 seasons, plus one reunion made for TV film in 1998. In preparation of his role, Erik Estrada spent time and went through training at the California Highway Patrol Academy, so he could accurately portray the role. In my opinion, this was a good thing as art imitates life and made his performance much more believable. In a case of life imitating art, in 2016 he was a reserve police officer in St. Anthony, Idaho, patrolling on a motorbike of course. Who's the man? Tony Danza's the man. Or should that be the boss? Anyway, Danza starred in two of the most popular sitcoms of the 80s, the award-winning Taxi and of course, Who's the Boss?
You remember the night I came up to you two at the bar, I said, "Are you two together?"
Yeah, I told you we weren't.
She wasn't the one I was after, Tony.
Taxi followed the lives of taxi drivers and their dispatch, and was Danza's first major role, and opened the doors to Hollywood. Coincidentally, in both Taxi and Who's the Boss, Danza plays characters named Tony. I just thought I'd include that little tidbit. If you like random facts like that, why not subscribe to the channel?
Oh, sweetheart, 1 second. Think you could pluck my eyebrows? Right in here, please.
Who's the Boss was nominated for more than 40 awards, including 10 Primetime Emmy Awards and 5 Golden Globe Award nominations, and became one of the most popular shows of the 80s. In 2020, a revival of Who's the Boss was announced, but as at 2024, the time that I made this video, there hasn't been any new developments to report. I'm not sure what exactly they're planning on doing with the revival, but we're living in an era of TV revivals, so it would be nice to see Tony Danza and Alyssa Milano on screen again.
Well, I just want you to know how much it meant to me.
I know, but when you talk, your Adam's apple keeps bobbing up and down, and I can't tie this stupid bow tie.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Remember how popular Miami Vice was? It was hailed as a breath of fresh air by critics and viewers alike. Unlike other police dramas on TV, the show drew heavy inspiration from the 1980s new wave culture by integrating some of the biggest hits and pop culture references into each episode for a uniquely 80s experience. At the height of the show's popularity, each episode contributed to about $1 million towards the economy of Miami, as the show was a major influence on tourism in the city. If you're wondering, that's about $3 million per episode in today's money, adjusted for inflation of course. Actors Don Johnson and Philip Michael Thomas made being a cop cool again, with their swagger and style that fit in so perfectly with the neon streets of Miami. Everyone wanted to be a police officer and live the exciting lives I saw being portrayed on screen. I don't think there was a better dynamic duo than these two. Or was there? Before Miami Vice, there was another dynamic duo that kept viewers glued to their screens. Bo and Luke Duke.
Look, we're in kind of a hurry, so could we borrow some clothes maybe?
You want to borrow some of my clothes?
No, Becky, we want to borrow some of your Paul's clothes.
The two cousins, who despite being mostly interested in minding their own business and driving at high speeds in the Dodge Charger, nicknamed the General Lee, they always landed in an array of troubles each week.
Look, we weren't trying to check up on you or nothing. We'll do anything to make it up for you, anything. As a matter of fact, Luke and me go out there and talk to him right now.
No.
Tom Wopat and John Schneider portrayed the two handsome leads, but I bet you never knew that more than half of the fan mail of the show was actually addressed to the General Lee. The Dukes of Hazzard was consistently amongst the top-rated television series in America, even after actors Tom Wopat and John Schneider were replaced by Byron Cherry and Christopher Mayer in season 5. Ratings for the show took a drastic dip, and producers soon realized they needed to bring back the original Dukes if they were to save the show. Luckily, the studios reached an agreement over salaries with Wopat and Schneider, and the two returned for the 6th and 7th seasons.
Why are we running around looking for clothes? You got me.
David Hasselhoff set a Guinness World Record as the most watched man on TV. But believe it or not, when Knight Rider originally aired back in 1982, it received mixed to negative reviews for being a silly concept. But reviews never was something viewers paid much attention to, and the series remained on air for 4 seasons. What's not to love about this silly action drama? A sleek and modern crime fighter assisted by an advanced, artificially intelligent, self-aware and nearly indestructible car called Kit. The show was every science nerd's dream show.
I am the voice of Knight Industry 2000's microprocessor.
After Knight Rider ended, Hasselhoff starred in Baywatch, another show that received such poor ratings it was cancelled after the first season. But the show survived through syndication and later became the most watched television series in the world, with a weekly audience of over 1.1 billion viewers, remaining on air for 11 seasons. Which series did you prefer, Baywatch or Knight Rider? Let me know in the comments. Starting his career in 1976, playing Jeff Weber on the American soap opera General Hospital, Richard Dean Anderson is best remembered as a man with a plan back in the 80s when he portrayed Angus MacGyver, a secret agent armed with remarkable resourcefulness to solve any problem out in the field using any materials at his disposal. The show aired for 7 seasons between 1985 and 1992, instantly becoming a rating success and gaining a loyal following. The show was revolutionary and fresh, and everyone had a bit of a secret crush on MacGyver for being able to get out of any predicament. The word MacGyver entered the Oxford Dictionary's website in 2015 as a verb, meaning to make or repair an object in an improvised or inventive way, making use of whatever items are at hand. I think of all the shows on this week's list, MacGyver is the only one to have become a verb. Was MacGyver the coolest guy on TV back in the day? Well, almost. Nominated for 13 Golden Globes during its original run, Magnum PI was definitely one of the most popular shows you could watch back in the 80s.
This wouldn't end until he and I met face to face, and we both knew it.
Colorful Hawaiian shirts were made popular again by the manly Tom Selleck and wasn't just for dads anymore. They were associated with a cool guy solving crimes on a weekly basis. That and Tom Selleck's iconic mustache. The series featured crossover episodes with 2 other iconic shows about private investigators, namely Simon & Simon in 1981 and Murder, She Wrote in 1984. CBS rebooted the show in 2018, and the reboot aired for 5 seasons with actor Jay Hernandez portraying Magnum. The series received lukewarm to mixed reviews from critics, but was able to hang on to its newly formed dedicated fan base. But let's face it, Magnum PI isn't quite the same without Tom Selleck. And his mustache. Did I mention his mustache? Thank you so much for watching this video. If you would like to see my picks of my favorite top 10 videos, click on this link over here. Or if you want to check out the YouTube algorithm suggestion, you can click on this link over here. As always, if you like this video, remember to click like and subscribe, and you can also check out some of the other videos on this channel. And I also have a second channel if you want to check out those original content videos. See you in the next video.